Hey guys, welcome back to the InspoTee with your host Nikisha Lupka. Here at the InspoTee, we discuss all things faith, personal development, and I really do hope that when you leave the InspoTee platform, I hope that you feel inspired, you feel some sense of growth and self awareness. Okay, so I don't know if you notice anything different about today's episode besides my hair. But I'm officially a mother of four. I'm so excited. It has been a challenging past 6 weeks trying to navigate and find my feet with four children. It hasn't been easy at all. But I mean, guys, I'm still here. I'm still doing what I love. And I feel like as a mother, as long as you make space for your own passion and you make space for the things that you believe in and that you're passionate about, then yeah, I think you're good. You'll be fine. So for today's episode, I noticed that there was a trend on TikTok where people were talking about their icks. Okay. Now, in definition, or in my own personal understanding, things that bother you, things that you find very irritating, if I must say so myself, things that you like to change, if you can, or speaking about what annoys them or what irritates them. It can be general icks, it can be dating icks, it can be icks in the office, maybe icks as a parent, but I think there's different things that annoy us on different levels in different types of settings. Okay. So with that being said, because this is the inspo tea, I feel like I was jumping onto this trend and I'm just going to bring to awareness some of the things that I think need to be spoken about, or more so, my personal icks that I promise you guys that get under my skin. It's beyond annoying for me, and I just feel like it's 2025 and how are we still doing the things that I'm about to mention. Now, today's episode is on my personal icks. Now, just a quick disclosure. Remember, this is my personal icks, guys. Maybe you may disagree with them or you have different feelings towards them. It's okay. This is just me voicing my own opinion. That's the point of, obviously, my show. Let's start with ick number one. Starting off strong. Guys, I don't understand how it's 2025 and we are still body shaming a woman. Now, this can happen directly or indirectly. You go to a place and then someone that knows you, maybe they know how you've looked before and you're no longer looking the same. Maybe you've just had a baby or you've just gained weight or lost weight, okay, whatever your situation may be. And that person decides to call you out on the difference that they see in your body. Now, I know this used to happen a lot back in high school and stuff like that, and it was understandable because we're still growing. We don't really know our boundaries or what we should say or what we shouldn't say. But I truly do believe as adults, as grown people, our bodies are our moving force every single day. They go through so much, you guys. When I was thinking about it before, while I was writing down what I'm actually going to be talking about, I was thinking about how much pressure and stress our bodies go through. Having a baby, stress, conditions, people have different conditions. All of this affects our bodies. And then you still get adults that feel like they have the audacity or they feel like they have this, I don't know, it really is audacity for me, where they can just make a statement concerning your weight. And I'll give you a very quick example. You guys, I'm the person that can easily let things go over my head because I'm confident with my body. I have absolutely no problem. Obviously, at one point of my life, I did feel very insecure. I've always been a really skinny girl. But I loved my body up until someone said something. It was that kind of a vibe. I absolutely was confident about being skinny, but after someone had said something, that's when everything changed. And I'll give you an example for me and why exactly I find this to be an ick. So there was a time I walked into a salon and I was a certain weight, and eventually I did it's a salon that I usually go to. So they know me at the salon, but when I started going to the salon, I was a certain weight and I had lost some weight, which is normally how my body is, especially after having a child. Like, I gain weight and then I make it my duty to get back to how I was. I always work on myself after I have my kids. And what happened was I walked into the salon, and this lady, she's also got kids. She's a grown woman, but she felt the need to look me in the face with other women being in the salon, and she very openly and confidently said to me, "Oh my gosh, you're looking stressed out. Why are you disappearing like this?" And I remember my stomach got such a knot because I felt so offended. And I remember in that moment, everyone looked at me. Well, the three ladies that were in the salon, they all looked at me. And now it's like everyone was looking at my body to see what, obviously what this lady was talking about. And normally I wouldn't say anything, but I think I've reached a level or point in my life where now I make sure to check the person that says that and, see what their intention is. Normally I wouldn't say anything. I just keep quiet, or I'd answer, or I just let it get over my head. But in this particular situation, I said, I'm not doing this anymore. And I said to her, like, that's not a nice thing that you, like, why did you say that? I remember asking her, like, why did you say that? And she's like, oh no, I'm just asking, like, you lost so much weight. And she still felt so confident to say that again. And then I was like, but that's not a nice thing to say to someone, that they're disappearing. I don't see that. That's just not a nice reference to use. It's not a nice thing to say to someone. In my opinion, that's equivalent, or it's the opposite of telling someone who's gaining weight that they are, I don't know, that they're taking up too much space in the place, or that they're looking like a house. I don't know, but I find that offensive, because if I turn it around, then that would obviously be very offensive to somebody who's more on the plus size. And I would never ever say something like that to someone. So that's when I say, like, body shaming and, talking about people's bodies, or just questioning a woman and their body and how it's looking at that point or that season in their lives. I really think that it's something that we should leave alone. And so I think that this is a teachable moment. There could be so much it could be so much deeper than just a person's weight gain or weight loss. Someone could literally have an illness. Somebody could have a condition. Someone could have, I don't know, be going through stress and trauma, or body, or the overall weight gain or weight loss. So I think let's just leave that off the table and stop asking people why they've gained or why they're losing. And I think especially the setting, pay attention to the setting that you're saying it, the references that you're using. If you come across this video and you are a person who openly talks about a person's weight, just stop doing it. Literally, there's no nicer way to put it. Just stop doing it. And I feel like if you on the other side where someone is saying something to you about your weight, I think be ready for the question, and also stand up for yourself. Don't let it just slip by. And again, when I say my icks are people, or I don't like people that are doing this, it's not the person, it's just a habit. It's a behavioral ick, because I can love the person, but then they do this thing or they say that thing, and that can be changed. So again, these things can definitely be changed. So we know what not to say and what to say to people. For ick number 2, it's people who feel the need to put pressure on couples that have been married for a while, or maybe perhaps just got married, to have kids. Now, you've probably heard this before again, but it's not okay to put pressure on people to have children. And I think, again, it's something that seems so light. It seems like it's just a basic conversation that you can just ask a person, oh, so when are the kids coming? Or when are you having another one? Or when are you starting your family? Because first of all, you don't know what is happening in that marriage or in that relationship. So that couple could maybe just not want to have children. Respectfully, there are people who just don't want to have kids, and rightfully so. They have that choice to make, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But now it has to be a discussion, because already that, I feel like, is controversial. When people don't want to have kids, it's like, oh my gosh, why? Like, they're bad people. Maybe they feel like they don't want to bring that up because it's going to be this controversial conversation of why don't we want to have children, and they don't feel like explaining. Or it could be something on a serious level where there's infertility issues, especially at family reunions. People like to ask that. They love to ask that question. It's a very normal question to ask, but people don't really think about the depth of it. And I'm being exposed to a lot of these scenarios. I recently went to, or not recently, about a year ago, I went to about 3 events where I saw what women go through. It was an infertility event, and I got to see what women go through on the other side, when nobody can see the pain that these women are going through. And then someone just innocently, maybe you genuinely are just asking, but that's the point in me bringing it up, is you don't mean to hurt anybody. You're not trying to be forward. You're just generally speaking, but at the same time, you don't know what the person is going through, and it's a much more serious conversation than you think. So let's just stay away from asking questions about when people are having children, or even just putting pressure on people to have kids. Moving on, I don't know whether this is the teacher in me or it's my thing with words or communication. This is one of my icks, and I don't know if anybody else feels the same way. When I go to weddings, guys, I'm not the person that's going to judge the wedding, because we all have different visions. We all want different things, I feel like everyone has a different budget. People want, like, some people like small weddings, intimate weddings. Other people love big, fancy weddings. For me, when people are getting married, it's a good thing. They're doing the right thing. So I just focus on that. However, guys, I cannot tell you how much I don't know if I'm special, if it's just me, but I cannot tell you how much I cannot stand an empty speech, or a speech with no essence. I feel like that is priceless. It doesn't cost anything except time. The bride doesn't get to speak, so speak about her. Let's give her flowers. Into weddings, and I've seen, not all of them, but I've seen some things. And then online, I've also seen or heard speeches where it's like, okay, was this the guy's 30th birthday party? Are we talking about him? Or is this a wedding? Do you know what I mean? So I don't know, just like, let's just do better with speeches. That's again one of my icks, guys. Literally my eye starts to twitch, and I can picture myself. I have a visual of myself walking up to the stage and taking the mic away, because I just can't. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I absolutely cannot. I want to take that mic away. I want to take that mic. I will take that mic from you. We need to stop. We just need to do better with our wedding speeches, please, guys. Mother-in-laws, father-in-laws, grooms, basemen, and the what do you call the maid of honor. Let's just do better with our speeches, please, guys. The next ick is, I know the word is called gatekeeping now. This generation, we've watered it down, and it's called gatekeeping. Like, don't not tell us all the info or all the details. I find it extremely, first of all, selfish, and I feel like gatekeeping means that you have a lack mindset. So this situation where you ask someone for information, or you ask someone for help, if someone says to me, Nikisha, I was thinking of going to study this particular thing, and I heard you were studying at this college. Was it easy to get in? What is the steps? And I know the steps to get into that university. I should share that information. I shouldn't tell the person to go look online or to go check online, not unless the person wants to be spoon-fed. There's a difference. Obviously, you must be able to discern the difference between someone just coming to be spoon-fed, or if somebody is really looking for information, being that person has already, maybe started their own research, and they've done their own research, and now they're just stuck and they need a specific need for information. Now, if you don't know, you say, hey, I don't know, and that's okay. But I'm talking about those people that actually have access and they have resources to help others, but they choose not to, because they think that if you help someone else, or if you refer someone else, it's going to it's going to take away from you. And I don't know if you've met people like that. I've met so many people like that, and I think that if people come to me and they need help and they need information, or they need resources, I am like an open tap. I start giving whatever I can, to the best of my ability and as accurate as possible, just because I know what it's like to be in a position where you know someone that can actually help you. You've heard of this person helping other people, and then when it comes to you, they're like, oh no, just Google it, help the next person out. You'll be blessed in another way, maybe in a whole different area of your life, or maybe you're praying for something, and the moment you help someone else, it will unlock your blessing. It's a simple things. It doesn't have to always do with the a materialistic favor or materialistic resource. Information. Just give the people the information. Okay, and for my last and final ick, guys, the statement goes like this: if you do not know someone personally, don't ask them personal questions. It's giving monitoring spirit. It's giving forward. I'm so sorry to say that it may not sound like, exciting. It may not sound nice, but it's just the truth. If you don't know somebody personally, don't ask them about their personal life. Before you ask someone a personal question, ask yourself, what is this information going to do for me? People come to you to ask you questions so that you can be the next topic in the WhatsApp group. I promise you, you really have to have some sort of discerning when a person comes at you and starts asking you personal questions about your marriage, about your children, about your lifestyle. You'll be able to feel where it's like, hey, okay, so this is getting a bit personal, and this is where the conversation needs to lay off. The person that's being asked the questions, you need to have discerning on what it is you can answer and what it is you need to say when a person comes at you with those kind of questions. On the other hand, if you're the person who just likes to, I'm trying to find a nice way to put this, but you just like to ask unnecessary questions that have no meaning, it's not going to change anything for you. It's none of your business. Stop asking the questions. Some people are trying to put up all these boundaries, and we're trying to put up all these boundaries, but then you will get a person that will constantly come and ask 100,000 questions that has nothing to do with them. What is it to you? Overall, these are all my icks, guys, and it really is what it is. I said it in the best way that I can say it, and I hope that there is some sort of awareness that you all leave with. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I think that's all I have for today. Subscribe to my YouTube, which is Nikisha Lupka, and then go straight to Spotify and search InspoTee, the podcast, and follow. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. Be ready for episode 3. Mwah. Take care now, guys. Bye.